If I haven't met you tonight, let me introduce myself. I'm Mark Lombardi. I'm the Chamber President, and I'm also the General Manager of the Easton Country Club. So I'm your host tonight, so hopefully you enjoyed the evening so far. If there's anything thank you. Please let our staff know if there's anything you need, okay? I know it's cold out. It's a tough night to come out on a wintry day, but it's been a great turnout, so I thank you all for coming. We're certainly not the Midwest. That's tough out there, huh? So it could be worse, right? It could be worse. But it's great to see so many members here and their guests and some people who are well-deserving of awards. So we have a great night planned. I just would also like to do a special welcome to some dignitaries over here on this side of the room. Claire Cronin, State Representative, thank you so much for coming. And we have Al Girolamo, close enough? Okay. From Senator Similty and Brady's office. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I know it's a busy time for you guys. Thank you for making it down. We have Craig Barger, Selectman for the town of Easton here. And Stephanie Danielson. She's the Director of the Economic and Planning Commission for Easton. Thank you. There's some other people here to help make tonight possible. I'd just like to say a special thanks, first of all, ECAT for filming tonight. They also do a terrific job for the Chamber. There's a business spotlight that it showcases a business once a month, I believe, is the schedule. So if you're channel surfing some night, pop over there and check out one of the local businesses. We also have Chris Ventresco from Starlight Photography. Chris, there he is. Doctor. And the TV is on loan from Audiovisual Intelligence. They're great, very generous. Actually, the Chamber also wouldn't be possible without some terrific board members, so I would just like to point them out in the crowd there. There's Michael Asak. If you want to stand up, I guess, so people. Dr. Mark Halverson. Brian Hoffman. Mark Sabina. Sarah Selman. Isabel Wilson. And Dr. Scott Eunice. And once again, Chris Ventresco. He's a busy man. But the board is very committed. They work hard and they come up with terrific ideas. So it's been great being president with an active board like that. And then, of course, nothing would happen at all if it wasn't for Carrie Nichols. She really is the face of the Chamber. She makes my job easy. And it's just terrific having you plan everything and giving the Chamber all this energy. So, well done. We have a fantastic agenda tonight. As I said, there's some very deserving people here who will receive awards tonight. We also have an Easton homegrown business success story that should be very interesting to hear about. So we have a great night for you. But before we begin, I would like to just review the Chamber for last year. We are a vibrant organization. We're on sound footing financially, so thank you for your membership. It's a big part of how we operate is by you paying the dues, so thank you very much. We have about 125 members. We certainly would like to grow. We ask anyone who, any colleague that you know that might be interested in joining the Chamber, please either refer us to them or refer them to us. You can contact Carrie and she'd be happy to talk somebody into becoming a member. And then maybe someday president, so I can. We've had an active year with new members. There is on the screen there, you'll see a list of all our new members. So thank you for coming on board. We hope you find the Chamber productive. Certainly, if there's anything we can do for you guys, just reach out to our board. We'd be happy to help you guys in any way. We'd also like to acknowledge those members who have been with us for over 10 years. There is a list also on the slideshow, so please stop over and see that. But you guys really are the backbone of the chamber, and thank you so much for your loyalty. We had a busy year. Obviously, the key event for the year for us is the Taste of Easton. We hold that at Stonehill. We have about 50 participants, restaurants, and exhibitors. We sold it out again this last May with over 400 tickets sold. That is a great showcase of, Easton, it's just wonderful that we have so many fine dining opportunities, and it's a great showcase for the restaurants to present their wares, and it really is a big success. It also generates some money that we contribute to the food pantry. Just last year we wrote a check for $2,500 to a much needed cause. And I encourage anybody who hasn't taken part in that Taste of Easton, it really is a fun evening. You do see the town out there. It's very enjoyable. So please look for it next May. We held a speed networking event at Oaks Ames Hall. I wasn't able to participate in the first one, but I did last year, and it's kind of neat. You have 3 minutes to talk about your business, and it's one-on-one with another chamber member, and then you move around the room. So it's amazing. You get your whole speech down by the end of the night, but it's great. I found out about some neat businesses in town. We probably won't do it again next spring, or this spring, but we will hold it in coming years, and it's a great event. We've had plenty of business lunches and after-hour events. We welcomed a lot of new businesses into town. We had some businesses that remodeled and others that relocated. And they were nice enough to open their doors so that we could welcome the chamber in there and to see their business. We welcomed this year James Heller, DMD, In-Style Hair Salon and Spa, the Township Restaurant, Verizon Wireless Zone, Inspired Technology and Communications. We held ribbon cuttings at other locations, Envision Counseling, Paperwork Junction, Southeast Funeral and Cremation Services, Waterpoint Properties, just to name a few. So we were busy. There was tons of activity in the business community this year. That's exciting. It's great to see. We held a chamber breakfast last September. We invited our town officials to present the concepts for some developments going on in the Queeset Business District and the Eastman to Five Corners area. Stephanie did a great job. It's going to be a lot of work, but it is exciting. It should help the town out quite a bit. So that was a nice event. We, as always, promote Small Business Saturday in November. This year we ran an ad asking people to shop locally and support small businesses. We also handed out flyers at various retail stores, so perhaps you saw those. Finally, the Chamber is behind and offers some volunteers for a wonderful event, and that's just coming up in March. There is a Credit for Life Fair. If you haven't heard about it, it's a nice, unique event. Juniors at Oliver Ames get a day off of school, so they're all happy about that, but they get to go over to Stonehill, and they learn what it takes to live beyond family means. So either they went to school, they role play that they went to school and have graduated and now are starting in their career. And they learn about what the cost of living is, how much rent may cost in their first job, how much it costs to buy a wardrobe, transportation, and all that kind of thing. So volunteers are needed to actually present little booths that they go around and they shop, and they work on a budget. It really is a fun time. I've done it for a couple of years. It's great to interact with our future generation there, and their eyes are all big and wide. It's a great time. So we need volunteers to support this event. So if you are interested, we'll pop out an email. Carrie will send an email to our members, but just respond to Northeastern Savings Bank. We do thank Northeastern Savings Bank for spearheading the event, but I know it's a consortium of other local banks and businesses that support it. So it's a great event. Thank you all very much for that. In summary, the Chamber is only as good as our members' participation. And for a long time I was a member and we didn't really do much. I kept saying I was busy with this, busy with that, and I know I was. But eventually I started getting to, freeing up some time to get to some of these network events. And they really are fun. But it is amazing sometimes who you might meet and what opportunity might come up from that. So I do really appreciate everybody being a member of the Chamber. If you can come by some of our events, it would be terrific. So look for our schedule coming up. Now, on to why we are here. Let me introduce board member Brian Hoffman to present the 2018 Community Service Scholarship.
I hope that applause was for the scholarship recipient and not for me. I really haven't done anything to deserve that yet. One of the most rewarding things I think that comes out of the Chamber is that sense of engagement in the community, of being involved with young people, with businesses, with institutions, and with the resources in our town that make this such an incredible place to live. Each year, the Chamber awards a community service scholarship to a deserving high school senior from either Oliver Ames High School or from the Southeastern Regional Technical High School. The scholarship is worth $750 and is open to any senior who is a resident of Easton and who is planning to attend an accredited institution of higher education after graduation. The recipient is based on evaluation of their application by members of the Chamber Scholarship Committee, and at this time I'd like to introduce those people who do an incredibly thoughtful and detailed job of evaluating these just unbelievable applications from students in our schools. So if you would please stand for a moment for recognition. Dr. Scott Yunus, Miss Isabel Wilson, and for the third time tonight, Chris Ventresco. This year's applicants presented stories of incredible service to the community, and that's the focus of the scholarship, is service to the community. The projects and the accomplishments were unbelievable. It would have been nice to give 6 of these scholarships out. They were that outstanding, but unfortunately we could only choose one. The recipient of this year's scholarship is Grace Chang, a senior at Oliver Ames High School. Grace has had a passion for baking for some time, and she wanted to do something positive for her community. So she created a charitable club at the high school that would raise money for the homeless by baking and then selling baked goods to provide support for others. Grace founded Donating Delights, a club with a mission of providing baked goods for sale and then using those funds to support the homeless through Father Bill's and Mainspring House in Brockton, a charity that serves individuals, families, and veterans who are experiencing homelessness. In addition to organizing the club, Grace has acted as the president and treasurer, as well as doing the baking, selling the goods, and then volunteering at Father Bill's Distribution Center. Since its inception in December of 2017, Donating Delights has raised over $1,000 to support the homeless. As Grace said in her scholarship application, I want to tell young people to go out, find a problem, and then do something to help fix it. Get out of your comfort zone and do something that will advance society. It gives me great pleasure to introduce this year's recipient of the Easton Chamber of Commerce Community Service Award, Grace M. Chang. Chris wants to get a picture here. Would you like your family to come up for the picture as well? Okay.
All right, guys, you're right here. You got it. One more. You got it.
Would you like to say something?
Yeah.
I'll hold this for you.
Okay.
And then don't go away.
I would just like to thank all the people that helped me get to this point, which is Miss Lamita and Audrey and all the other club members, and especially my mom who helped me get it started with all the funding in the initial round of getting all the baked items. And yeah, thank you so much.
I would now like to introduce Claire Cronin, our state rep and chair of the Judiciary Committee in the House, who has a couple of presentations from both the House and the Senate.
So, it's my honor and privilege to be with Grace, you're a remarkable young woman. And so, on behalf of the House of Representatives, we'd like to offer you your sincerest congratulations in recognition of your receiving the 2018 Community Service Scholarship for your outstanding contributions to the Donating Delights Club and its support of Father Bill's in Mainspring. So congratulations.
Thank you.
You've got one more, though. Okay. So I'd like to also introduce from Senator Brady's office, Al DiGirolamo.
On behalf of Senator Michael Brady and Senator Walter Timilty, who couldn't be here tonight, I have a Senate citation which reads, "Be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to Grace Chang in recognition of you being the recipient of the Easton Chamber of Commerce 2018 Community Service Scholarship." I should have put a comma. And it's signed by the Senate President Karen Spilka, the Senate Clerk Michael Hurley, State Senator Michael Brady, and State Senator Walter Timilty.
Right in the left? They're coming
Yeah, we'll have her right in the middle. So Grace, I'll have you right in the middle. Yeah, I know. Very in the front.
Right.
It's all confusing here.
All right, so Grace, there you go. Okay, right here, guys. One more. You got it.
All right. All right, congratulations again. You want me to take these to your table?
Yeah.
Sorry, Kim. Every time we move this microphone, Kim cringes. I'll be back in a little bit, but right now I would like to introduce a fellow board member, the executive director of the Easton Y, and one of the hardest working people in the community. And she will introduce the Outstanding Business Citizen Award. Please welcome Sarah Selman from the Easton Y.
Good evening, everyone. I was honored the sincere pleasure of presenting this year's Outstanding Business Citizen Award. Annually, this award is given to a local business person or people in recognition of their outstanding support of the Easton community and its citizens. This year's award committee is pleased to announce Eileen and Dana Rappold as tonight's recipients. The multiple nominations received by our committee referenced valuable personal experiences, both witnessed and gained through personal best karate. But more than that, people spoke of martial arts as a vehicle by which the Rappolds taught countless youth in Easton leadership, confidence, integrity, and how to be your best self. You will often hear the reference that they represent and teach what it takes to be a black belt student in life. When you ask people about Eileen and Dana, people first get this inspired look on their face. They smile, and then they use words like passionate, driven, humble, and committed. Then the stories begin. Many in our community will tell you that it is easy to pick out a personal best student based on their respect, drive, kindness, and focus. If you have been lucky enough to be part of the personal best family, you can be confident that you have people who care and who will do everything in their power to lift you up and make sure you succeed. The Rappolds have supported many community organizations and foundations over the years, including My Brother's Keeper, Cystic Fibrosis Awareness, the annual Turkey Brigade, School on Wheels, Easton Food Pantry, the Y, scholarship funds, teacher appreciation awards, bully prevention support, and so many more. Through their school, they have mobilized a community dedicated to reaching their potential and doing right by others. When local families are struck with distress, illness, financial hardship, or other needs, they have sponsored and raised money for them. When there are tags left on the personal best holiday giving tree, they are known to head to the store and personally ensure that no one is left behind. When a student does not have the financial means to participate, there has always been a scholarship waiting. And when I personally joined this board of this wonderful chamber, Eileen served as our treasurer. I can personally attest to the incredibly warm and genuine reception I received by these two when I was new to the Easton community. They are true community builders and have always worked to connect good people and support worthy causes. The Rappolds recently sold their franchise after having owned Personal Best in Easton since 2001. They acknowledged in a recent interview for this event that the school will always be a part of them. Well, tonight, we want to thank you, because the lessons in leadership and community service you have championed here will live on well into the future through all you have inspired. At this time, I am pleased to announce Eileen and Dana Rappolds.
Okay, so thank you, everybody. Having been on the board for 9 years, I know Kerry is so nervous right now because we're behind schedule. So you only got a couple seconds, lucky me. And lucky for my brother-in-law, too. But anyway, I guess looking over the past, tomorrow is actually 18 years since we opened Personal Best in Easton. And looking over the past 18 years, we always talk about what a gift it was for us to be able to work with such wonderful families. And it's funny how you have goals in life and you're going one way, and those goals are working until something, I like to think of it as divine intervention, pulls you somewhere else. Had anybody ever told me, of course, being so non-athletic, that I would have taken karate, earned black belts, taught children, taught adults, I would have told you you were crazy. It would have never happened. But thankfully, because of a program that brings out that best, it was able to show me that I had it. And that was why we started karate, was to be able to have something in common, because Dana was athletic, I was not. And we always argued over anything physical. So karate brought us together. But really, it has been such a wonderful, wonderful gift to have done what we did the last 18 years. And I will treasure it forever, as will Dana. And I'm going to turn it over to him.
Yes, thank you, everybody. I mean, we were fortunate enough that my brother had opened up Personal Best in 1991, and gave us the opportunity. It's his philosophy, his idea behind everything. We were lucky enough to have the opportunity to do it. So we would really like to thank Chris Rappold. And if you talk about passion, that gentleman has a passion for his business. And we want to thank you for that. We also want to thank Rolando Perez and Sue Perez for, they are the two people who have taken over the personal best karate here in Easton. So thank you very much.
And if I can say just one thing about that, you probably can imagine if somebody were to come into a karate school that was beloved, they would probably just want those people out of there, right? I can honestly say that the last 6 months, once we sold the business, these two people formed such a commitment with us for us to be able to do such a great transition and to keep everything moving. So can't thank you enough. They are even more than we are. So I can only imagine that it's gonna continue on. Would you guys just stand up and take a bow? Just so everybody can see you.
So I'll present this to you both.
I have one thing to say, though.
Yeah. We'll just sit here and talk.
He's really nervous right now.
Behind every successful man, there's a woman. And I happen to be lucky enough and blessed enough to have that woman by my side since I was 13 years old.
Dana, come. No. There you go. All right, guys, here we go. One more. You got it.
And I'll invite Representative Cronin to join us.
Here we go. I'm going to do double duty so Kerry won't get upset that we're running behind. So on behalf of both the House and the Senate, we'd like to present you with these citations. But I also have to say, on a personal note, we were one of the first personal best.
You were. There are quite a few firsts in this room, I have to say.
But, back those 18 years ago, both of my daughters had the wonderful, great opportunity to have the chance to meet this young couple and learn from them so many skills that go so far beyond the karate itself. And I will say, over the years, all the moms out there, you take your kids to different things, piano, dance, and everything, but when I look back, one of the best things we ever did was go to the personal best. So it's particularly nice for me to have to give you this. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
So actually, guys, we're going to do one more quick photo.
Okay, so as I was saying, no.
One more time.
Yeah, we'll take that for you.
No.
All right, guys. Good. Yeah.
Okay.
Want to hold some?
There we go.
Good. All right, guys. Hold it right there. One more. You got it.
Thank you. Hey, did you grab some?
Brian and I are going to shake things up a little and finally pull the winner of this gorgeous raffle basket. So I will let him do the honors. Oh no, perfect.
Any last
Anyone
minute,
else?
folks? So first of all, if you haven't been to Personal Best Karate and haven't learned how to maximize your body strength, you're not going to be able to pick up this one. I just tried to move it a little bit, and I'm telling you. Sarah, you want to do the honors?
See, hand it up.
Yeah.
All right, I am to blame.
I don't want to
get
get in trouble.
excited. Okay.
And before I forget, our thanks to all of the incredible businesses in town and the people who generously support this raffle, which supports our scholarship program. So thank you all.
Drum roll, please. Anyone? Yes. All right, and the winner is Dan DiMatteo.
Bring some help up. If you like, you can get this a little bit later. You don't have to haul it away right now.
Didn't know if Chris wanted a photo.
Oh. I'll leave that up to you and Chris. I'm back up here again. You're probably almost sick of me, but you won't be after this. It isn't often that we can look back on our kindergarten years and see the origins of a company that will become a nationally recognized brand and a multi-million-dollar success story. But it happened, and it happened right here in Easton. Drew Harrington and Amanda Klain are Easton kids through and through. They first met in the classroom and on the playground at Parkview Elementary. Over the next dozen years, they were classmates and friends, outstanding athletes at Oliver Ames High School, and great buddies. Their friendship was bonded in a love of sports and competition. After OA, Drew went on to American University on a track scholarship. Amanda headed off to Providence College, where she excelled in Division I soccer. But they stayed in touch. They were close friends, and they truly understand the value of competition, and collaboration, and inspiration. After graduation from college, Amanda went on to work with her dad, Stu, who many of you know, in his food brokerage business. Drew, on the other hand, created his first company called Poolside Pong. Yes. Featuring the first inflatable beer pong platform. Every college kid from that point forward is indebted to Drew Harrington. But they continue to stay in touch, and they continue to compare ideas and inspirations. And in 2009, after recognizing a gap in the better for you dessert space, I didn't even know that a dessert space existed. But it obviously did if you're up to $100 million, so we'll continue with that. What they came up with was a better and healthier dessert food, a vision for how athletes can refresh, rejuvenate, and do it in a fun way. Then they made a quick trip to the Penn State Ice Cream School. I don't know about you, but I didn't even know that existed. I'm about to apply for a scholarship. Yeah, so is Dana. And then after that, with 2 years of hard work, testing their ideas, talking to others, going about the country and finding out what athletes, what people in America really would gravitate toward, in 2011 they founded Yasso Frozen Greek Yogurt, bringing to market a product that told the world there really was such a thing as dessert with benefits. Fast forward to 2019, and here the Yasso brand is available in 17,000 stores across 50 states in the United States, surpassing legacy dessert manufacturers one after another and aiming at going global with anticipated sales in 2019 of over $100 million. And numbering people like Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen as their fans. And with a special thanks to Drew and Amanda and to Yasso Frozen Yogurt, they provided your second dessert a complimentary gift to the Easton Chamber of their delicious Mint Championship frozen yogurt. So if you enjoyed it, go get some more. And if that isn't enough for Drew and Amanda, there's more to life, and that includes helping others, and they always have. So it's not surprising that they recently launched their own sports-focused nonprofit foundation called Yasso Game On, dedicated to inspiring others to crush their own goals as they work to benefit those in their communities. It gives me great pleasure and great personal pleasure because I've known Drew since he was probably 5 or less. But it gives me great pleasure to welcome for Yasso Greek Yogurt and for us here at the Chamber, the co-founders, Amanda Klein and Drew Harrington.
Awesome. Thank you, Brian. That was great. You took everything I had written down and already said it, so I apologize if I'm a little redundant here. Thought that was a short intro, but apparently we give away way too much on our website. But like Brian said, I'm Amanda. This is my best friend and business partner, Drew. We usually start out with the most frequently asked question, which is whether we're married, which is no. We are married, not to each other, and we're not brother and sister. We're just kindergarten friends, so that's how we've known each other. But, you know, the author Peter Drucker praised entrepreneurship when he said, whenever you see a successful business, someone once made a courageous decision. You know, we greatly appreciate you guys having us here tonight to tell you the story of the Yasso brand that me and Drew were able to create. But more importantly, we appreciate everybody in the room because you guys are all entrepreneurs in yourself and have done great things. And we know how hard it is to start a business and grow a business and be successful. And so we admire everything you guys are doing as well. So thank you for having us today. Hopefully you enjoy this story. So our journey for Yasso has been a wild and crazy one and a fast ride to date. But we've been really fortunate to be able to compete against some of the biggest food brands in the world and really share our products with millions of people all across America, as well as in some other countries as well. You know, we came up with the idea for Yasso in 2009, but like he said, we met way before that. We met in kindergarten over at Parkview. We always joke it was probably during snack time because we love food and we love snacks. But we grew up together in Easton. Our families were really close. We played sports. I played soccer. Drew ran track. I'll boast for him because I got this part of the speech, but he actually, I think, maybe still holds a mile record in indoor. He ran a 4:15 mile, probably thanks to Neil. I'll give you the credit, Neil, for that one. We both went off to college. I went to Providence. I played soccer. Drew went to American to run track. We stayed really close, visiting each other throughout college. After college, it's true, before I actually started to work for my dad, I had no idea what I wanted to do, so I just moved to Australia. Played soccer for a year before coming back and getting into the real world and entering the food industry. Meanwhile, helping this kid pack up inflatable beer pong tables to send out to college kids across the country. I used them more as air mattresses or anything else that I needed an inflatable mattress for, but it was a fun time for both of us. But being athletes, you know, we grew up, you know, following nutrition, health, and wellness. We were really into food trends. I had worked for my dad and was lucky to be able to work alongside the brand Chobani when they first started out and see that brand really have an amazing trajectory from pretty much nothing to, you know, a couple billion in sales. And so I kind of learned the ins and outs of the food industry. And at the time, we were really into, you know, the growing trends. Greek yogurt was one of them. But our love in life was always ice cream and dessert. And so what we noticed was as a lot of the grocery store was changing, ice cream really wasn't. What we had in the category was you had diet items that had been around forever, like Skinny Cow and Weight Watchers, which if you wanted something low calorie that tasted like crap, you could buy that. And on the other end of the category, you had Haagen-Dazs and Ben & Jerry's, which we absolutely love, but you weren't going to go home every night and eat, you know, a Haagen-Dazs bar or a pint of Ben & Jerry's. And what we really wanted to know was how do you bridge the gap between the two? So how do you create something that tastes delicious, but was also nutritious and had cleaner ingredients? And so that was our mission. We had to solve that feat that no one had done yet. So we did what probably most of you would do. We were like, easy. Went out, bought a cup of Greek yogurt, put it in the freezer, went to bed, woke up, and we tried to eat it, and it was an ice cube. We're like, oh yeah, that's not going to be that easy. We might need to figure out how to create ice cream and do something better. So we went to ice cream camp, like most people would. It's at Penn State University in the dead of winter, which is not a fun place to be. But it was funny. One of our challenges was we had no money. We were 23, just out of college. And it wasn't even that much, but it was a couple $1,000 to go to the camp. So we were like, all right, we'll sign up one of us. So we used Drew's name. We were like, Drew Barrymore, you know, Drew Bledsoe. The name tag could probably work for both of us. So we kind of ripped off the registration committee and we signed up one of us day one, I went wearing a Drew badge, and I was like, yeah, my name's Drew, like Drew Barrymore, and I learned how to make ice cream with the courses, and Drew went to the library. Penn State's well known for their dairy science, and he photocopied every book in the library, so we had all the information.
First time I'd ever been in a library, too. Terrifying.
That is not where you learned about bullseye. Day two, we swapped. Drew went to the actual class and learned how to make ice cream, and I went to the library and photocopied the rest of the books that Drew hadn't gotten to. And then the last day, there was like a cocktail dinner, and we both wanted to go, so we just both showed up, and people were like, wait, are you two the same person? And so, they couldn't kick us out because it was over. But what we learned was that, it was going to be harder than we thought. We had a lot of professionals there come up to us and tell us, you'll never be able to freeze Greek yogurt. It's too thick. No one's going to take you seriously. You won't find a manufacturing facility, blah, blah, blah. And we were like, okay. And then at the end of this guy's speech, he was like, but $10,000, I'll put together some formulas for you. And we were like, no, we're good. And we left, and we went home, and we were like, someone's got to be able to figure out how to do this. So, being athletes and super competitive, we're like, we'll figure this out. We'll find a way to freeze Greek yogurt. So we did what any 23-year-old would do. We went on Google and started Googling everything we could find. And what we found was food scientists at the University of Nebraska that would help us out for fairly cheap. And we found a co-packer down in New Jersey that was willing to give us a meeting and actually sit down and listen to us. And really, we learned everything from Google at that point in our time, and it was super helpful. But we were able to kind of get the business going and get some formulas and get a co-packer. We also learned we're super annoying and pestering people. I remember the first time we showed up at the co-packer for a meeting, they were like, who are you? Totally forgot we had a meeting with them, and we were like, yeah, we're not leaving until someone meets with us. And they ended up being our very first co-packer, so pretty exciting. But in the spring so this all started in 2009. It took us about a year and a half before we actually had final formulas and were ready to go to market. So in the spring of 2011, we were excited. We got our first manufacturing run. We had set up a bank account. We drained the pockets of our friends and family, and we had to prepay for our first run. And so I'll never forget, Drew called the bank. He put the money in, and then he calls him and goes, I need you to wire, it was like $100,000 to Mr. Cookie Face down in New Jersey. And the bank's like, what did you guys say you did for work? And we're like, just wire the money to the guy. So that was actually the name of our first co-packer, was Mr. Cookie Face. Our second co-packer's name was Fat Boy, so it never got better. But, we were really fortunate, obviously, to use our connections in the Northeast and got some really good retailers, year one, like Stop and Shop and Roach Brothers, Shaw's and other local grocery stores to take the product in because they had seen, what Greek yogurt was doing and understood what we were trying to do in the frozen set. So it was a really exciting time for us to be in there. But what we realized was, okay, we were in there, now we had to figure out how to make the product turn. And so kind of did what any 23-year-olds would do. We found a broken down old ice cream truck, bought it for pretty much nothing, and we started driving it around and sampling at events. I think our first event ever might have been the Tiger Turkey Chase in Easton on, what is that, Thanksgiving? Yep. And it was me and Drew just handing out bars, but we bought this ice cream truck and we started going around and really just going to sampling events, Falmouth Road Races, and really just listening to consumers and seeing what it was that they wanted, and started listening to the feedback we were getting from them. We even actually sampled at an event once that didn't really want us there or allow us there. We had our truck and we were on Comm Ave in Boston, and it was a big charity event, and I remember we had some products, so we just started handing it out to walkers, and all of a sudden the state police come up to us and we're like, we're so getting arrested right now. And Drew's like, hey, no, do you want some Yasso? And the guy was like, oh, yeah, sure. And he took a box and started eating it. And then he was like, oh, do you guys need a police escort to the next stop? And we're like, yep. So I think at that time we realized, one, we weren't getting arrested, but two, that we had something that people were really enjoying and willing to kind of get behind. So next few years, the company continued to grow pretty significantly. We had a lot of the challenges that I'm sure a lot of you see, but we had competition, we had cash crunches where we were trying to figure out how do we make next payroll, and ending up having to go out and raise private equity money. We grew employees, distribution, we had marketing challenges, the same things that I'm sure a lot of you face. I'll never forget, we're all sitting in the conference room one day, me and Drew trying to pump up the team. There's a billboard right outside the conference room, they're like rolling a new billboard on, and it says, now introducing Ben & Jerry's frozen Greek yogurt. And we're like, oh no. I was like, I don't even think this billboard faces anything but our conference room, but I think they're trying to tell us something. But over the years, we were able to really get beyond a lot of that adversity. continued to create products that people loved with clean ingredients and better nutrition, and really became some of the industry's best-selling items. The mint chip you had today is one of the best-selling items in the category. Our chocolate fudge, our cookie dough, they continue to perform extremely well. We've evolved our packaging over time. I'm sure some of you knew the original flavors, fruit flavors, white box, just have continued to evolve and listen as we've grown to what consumers want and what makes sense for the brand. And with that, we've been able to grow our sales and our marketing channels as well. So 8 years later, yes, Yasso today is on the verge of breaking $100 million in annual revenue. Our team has grown from the two of us sitting in our apartments to nearly 30 members that are located both in Quincy and around the country. We have 4 manufacturing facilities that employ over hundreds of people. Our product line has over 20 bars and 9 pints. We recently launched our first seasonal items, so I don't know if any of you saw those in the stores, but they killed it, and if you haven't, next year, check them out. The brand and story has been featured in Forbes, The Today Show, The Wall Street Journal, Good Housekeeping, and more. Products are sold in all 50 states and can be found in all the major grocery stores, Costco, Kroger, Walmart, Target. Most importantly, in all the grocery stores in Easton, so check us out. And we are now ranked, like he said, in the top 10 of novelty brands in the country. I think for us, being up there with Nestle and Unilever's of the world, but passing brands like Friendly's and Hood that we grew up eating was really an exciting time for us. So it's been a really crazy journey and one that's continuing to go on and grow. And, I wish I could go back to ice cream camp and tell those guys how great it's been.
Thank you, Amanda. So none of you know this probably, but Amanda's actually expecting her first child with her husband this summer. So she's standing up past 8 o'clock tonight, which is a pretty big deal if you're pregnant. So a round of applause. We wanted to personally thank Courtney Palm and Brian Hoffman for inviting us tonight. And thank you to the Easton Chamber of Commerce for hosting a beautiful evening. And congratulations to Eileen, Dana, and Grace. That's very special. Thank you for doing that for the community. It's a true inspiration. As Amanda just noted, our journey started young. A big part of our childhood and high school years here in Easton was athletics. As young, energetic kids, we spent thousands of hours playing sports and traveling with our teams. It was also super affordable daycare for our parents to just drop us off at the high school and pick us back up before sunset. But it was through this personal journey of ours that we began to develop the individual hustle, competitive spirits, and pursuit of goals. No matter how hard we worked on our different athletic achievements, we somehow always kept it fun. This mix of personal growth, enjoyment, and accomplishment would serve us well in our next chapter. Through the challenges, adversity, and exciting growth of Yasso that Amanda just mentioned, we relied on our strong foundation of our friendship together, the athletics, and the community, 3 pillars of our company that's roots began here in Easton. Without friendship, there would be no Yasso. Friendship is the fabric of the Yasso DNA and something that has made us proud when we see how many of our employees have become lifelong friends as well. It was this town that made our friendship possible. It also shaped our view of the world. We had great role models in our loving parents, George, Ronnie, Stu, and Lisa, and our siblings. But as they say, it takes a village, and that certainly was the case. More than just our parents, but countless teachers, friends' parents, coaches, volunteers, community members shaped this community for us in ways we'll be forever indebted. Easton was and still is a great town. In addition to our own parents, we learned the value of family and community service from countless families and citizens in town. Not only did they love their own kids, but they would each sacrifice hours of their own time for the benefit of others. You're seeing some of that here tonight. From the teachers at our schools to our coaches, like Neil, from public servants and organizations just like this, we learned that volunteerism and love of family is the backbone of any thriving community. Without knowing it at the time, Easton was teaching us the skills that would enable us to carry the weight and responsibility of being leaders in our business at a younger age than most. By growing up in town and mainly around our involvement in Easton youth sports and all range athletics, we learned that adversity can be a great catalyst for growth and success, that an underdog can win big, and that to accomplish your goals, you need to pay attention to details and work hard when others are willing to settle for the status quo. All values that have long outlived our own athletic careers, but have fueled our entrepreneurial spirit and business. So now, our first 10 years behind us and the next 10 on the horizon, we're excited to have launched our own charitable initiative, the Yasso Game On Foundation, with the goal of cultivating the inner health rebel in everyone. We always joke that our role models were Ben and Jerry's because of what they did for ice cream and flavors and also charity. We smoked a little less pot than them, but we're going to focus on athletics. But we take a lot of inspiration from their flavors and their charitable involvement. But we're proud that we launched Game On this year and hope to follow in their steps in business and in what they've done for the community. But our life experiences of friendship, athletics, and community have been paramount in our development as people. We hope to provide the monetary resources and programming so people of all ages can thrive with these same opportunities that we've enjoyed. Just like growing a business, we know the road ahead and the objective of making our communities stronger will not be easy. But any work ever doing is never the easy way to go. Since the days of our first ice cream truck, we've enjoyed meeting people in our communities, like Amanda said. One thing we've realized through these interactions is that people generally want to live healthier and better lives. The Game On Foundation gives us the opportunity to seek out those people, focusing on the most marginalized youth and supporting them with the appropriate resources. On a national level, we know that lack of physical activity for children contributes to the epidemic of inactive adults. Recent studies have shown that only 1 in 3 children is physically active every day. And only 6 states nationwide require physical education grades K through 12. Thankfully, Massachusetts is one of those 6. But that requirement alone is not enough. The budget to play is at great risk in all communities. In our neighboring town of Brockton, just up the road, a record number of students are missing out on the physical, educational, and emotional benefits of sports due to limited resources and funding. Children are our most vulnerable citizens and can be negatively impacted by circumstances beyond their control. We believe that all students deserve access to physical activity as it further amplifies imperative development milestones like building confidence, honing disciplinary skills, and aiding classroom achievement, to name a few. That's why last month we partnered with the local community of Brockton to present nearly $100,000 of sporting equipment and services to those children in need. Our whole company, got to spend the day at the Angelo Elementary School in Brockton, where we packed up boxes of equipment provided by the nonprofit Good Sports, which is also a local Massachusetts-based nonprofit, and we were able to play sports with the kids. We brought a lot of smiles, but it was just the beginning. Just like the Yasso business, our goal is to grow the Game On Foundation into a national organization that can positively impact the lives of many people. Moving forward, we see the Game On Foundation being able to partner with corporate donors, towns, teams, like-minded charitable partners, influencers, and athletes. And maybe even the GOAT, our favorite athlete, can post another photo of his freezer that Brian alluded to help spread the word. True story, he did that in 2015. It crashed our website, but we still hope he wins on Sunday. In addition to growing our Yasso product line and continuing to bring innovation to the healthy snacking industry, we're excited about expanding the Game On Foundation. We hope that we grow our business so we can contribute back to our communities, to all children, so can grow up in a community just like this one, with hardworking, generous, and loving people. For we personally know the positive impact that can have on a young kid's life. A favorite quote of ours is, "The secret of getting things done is to act." Everyone in this room knows what it takes to build a business. If business leaders can work together and collaborate, we can tackle some issues together and make a difference. So thanks for this opportunity to tell our story about Yasso, but more importantly, thank you for everything each one of you do for our hometown of Easton. We wish every entrepreneur in this room continued success, and know that you have a fan in us. We'll be rooting from afar, and we all hope we all can make a positive impact in this community and others. Thank you.
As one final note, I think it's very important for all of you to know, our members, our guests, and those from the community, that on behalf of the Easton Chamber of Commerce, we have made a contribution to the Yasso Game On Foundation of $300. That's normally what we would pay for a speaker's fee, and since Amanda and Drew wanted no fee, we think there's no better way to use that money than to support the Game On Foundation. Yeah.
well. How inspiring is that? So thank you both. The tremendous presentation. Really, that's uplifting. And it's great. I mean, Neil, to have you here, I know you've coached so many young kids that have gone on to do great things for the community. And all of us, you know, Easton is a very special place. Small businesses really add to the character of the town. A lot of us live in the town that we do business in, so we're committed to both running a good business and giving back to the community. So this is a great example of what could happen in a great community. So thank you all very much, really. This concludes tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. Certainly, once again, thank you for coming out on a freezing winter day to attend. Look for some updates email-wise from the Chamber, from Carrie. Credit for Life. We need volunteers, so please, if you can donate some of your time, it's very rewarding. So please help us out that way. But thank you all very much for coming tonight. By the way, Carrie just said we finished on time, so a round of applause for Carrie.